start from the right then. Yes. Yeah, now.
Thanks a lot, Olena Abramovich, Radio Free Europe. I have a question about temporary protection for Ukrainians, for Markus. There are reports from Ukrainian Foreign Ministry that Ukrainian women actually are asked right now when coming to some EU countries to prove that they don't have to serve army, and that the rules differ from country to country. And I was wondering if Commission is aware already of such cases, and if any kind of more specific explanations for Member States will be prepared in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. As a matter of fact, the Council decision extending the Temporary Protection Directive has come into force earlier this month, on 5 August 2026. This means now that the practical assessment of individual cases is for the competent national member states. So it's for the national member state authorities to apply the new rules and to do the actual checks which the rules provide for. So the Council decision, and that's also important to mention for your question, does not differentiate between men or women in the application. You remember this is about military service or former military service, and so there is no distinction between men and women. As a matter of fact, we have shared documents regarding guidance with member states. So this should indeed ease the application of the new law.
You have a follow-up? Go ahead.
Regarding this document for member states, is it something which was shared immediately with the publication, or something which was published recently?
I have to come back to you on the actual publishing date or how this is made available, but I can underline that it has been made available to member states. In any case, it's for member states. This is always the case with the EU law. It's for member states to apply it on the ground.
Other questions on this? Yes, go ahead.
The follow-up on this, Tatiana Vysotska, European Pravda, Ukraine. So you are saying that the operational guidelines are renewed already, because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, I know that it sent some letters to the Commission with the demand to update the operational guidelines on the directive, because there is really a problem. For example, there are women who are who has the professions which are which can be serving in the army. For example, medical professions, pharmacists, and so on and so on. And these women sometimes are rejected in temporary protection because in Reserve Plus, it's the application for conscription and all this stuff. In this application, it's written that they may be serving in the army. So is there any real document like this operational guidelines which clearly says what about women, what about conscripts? There are young people from 18 to 25 who are conscripts, but they are not serving in the army. So a lot of questions. Could you just enlighten?
Yes, indeed, very useful also the follow-up question, because it gives me the occasion to expand a little bit. So we have to distinguish between the different kind of documents we're talking here about. What I was referring to is a frequently asked questions document that has been made available to member states, and on top of this will come new and updated operational guidelines, which we will publish as well in the coming weeks.
And indeed, we have this Q&A, and we're working on more detailed guidance to continue to support member states with the interpretation of the rules.